Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we are talking about Dumbo, the 2019 remake / the same movie, not really, just with a different title. It's weird. Anyway, we're going to talk about it tonight. But I am Jordan. I'm joined here, like always, with Eric and Ed. Eric, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Let's get ready to Dumbo. I'm doing good, I guess. Best part of the movie with Michael Buffer. Ed, how are you doing?
I'm all ears to hear you guys' thoughts on this movie.
There we go.
I can't compete.
There we go. No, nobody can compete. Ed is the king of the puns because he's the last one. Eric, I think you would be.
We should have had you right for this movie.
Right.
So I can tell you what I wouldn't have done. We'll get into that in a minute.
Just
Oh,
just real quick. Why did we decide to watch this movie?
yeah. So we here at Movie Guys Podcast are big into completing. I guess you would say we are completionists. And this is actually our part 2 of our ever-going brand new live Disney action series. Part 1 you can find in our archives at movieguyspodcast.com, where we did Beauty and the Beast. That was our first movie of our live-action Disney. So Disney is recreating all their movies. So the reason why
Jungle Book, sorry to interrupt. Did we not do Jungle Book?
we did not do Jungle Book because of a scheduling issue on my end when it comes to anyway. So we skipped Jungle Book, but we're going into Dumbo. But the reason why we're doing Dumbo tonight is because we're leading up to other movies this year, which would be Aladdin, also The Lion King, and Maleficent 2 just got announced this year as well.
Yeah.
So there are big Disney movies coming up. That's why we're doing this one. And also Tim Burton is directing it. So that's why we're doing this one tonight. I know, Eric, you're like, I know for the past few months you were looking at the schedule behind the scenes. You're like, why are we doing Dumbo? Just not interested in this.
I had no. You know, there's a the thing where you have to vote for your dollar, and like let it be known what the audience wants. I know that this will do well because it's a Disney, it's family, and it's disappointing because they will encourage it to do more. I don't like these Disney remakes of what they're doing. They're doing the reimagining, and it just feels like it's a cash cow. It's not done for any storytelling or artistic purpose. It's plain and simply because they can flex with some CGI technology and make a couple million on the side.
Before we get into Ed here real quick, I'm curious, Eric. I remember that review. You liked Beauty and the Beast, the live action movie. So I'm interested in that opinion that you just shared.
Sure.
Because Beauty and the Beast you liked.
Well, Beauty and the Beast, the one that we saw with Emma Watson, right?
Yeah.
That's based off of a Broadway play. So you have kind of a different vision that's going into it. Whereas this was not. This was written by some bros who just do a lot of, I don't know, kind of like this one did like a lot of Transformers. This one, Reindeer Games. There we go.
Oh.
So he did a little bit of everything. Whoops. What's his name? Aaron Kruger. So weird to spell that name. But one of the screenwrites in that. I liked Arlington Road. Apparently he wrote that. But this one, I don't know. It just seems like it was a paycheck movie, right? Like, so it's what it is. It's a family. It's a paycheck movie. Like, that's why I didn't want to see this movie.
Aaron Kruger, I just looked it up when you said it. I knew that name sounded familiar because there was a connection. Aaron Kruger Freddy Krueger, Wes Craven did the Scream movies and Nightmare on Elm Street. Aaron Kruger wrote the third Scream movie. That's there we go. That's a bad one. Ed,
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Ed, we haven't heard from you in a while here tonight. Were you interested or excited to see Dumbo here before we get into the review?
Because of my love of the Jungle Book live action version, I was. And then I feel like that, you know, that feeling you get when you eat Chinese food? Like you're eating it and you're just like, you know what, this isn't bad. Like I'm eating it and it's good. And then you start to digest it a little bit and you're like, holy shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely should not have done that. That's this movie in a nutshell. So yes, I was excited to see it. And then I got diarrhea.
Oh my God.
Rough, man.
Well, Eric, you know what? You could be wrong on this. This movie is not doing very well at all. The movie was made for $170 million and has only grossed $127.1 million, and it's been out for a week. This movie is directed by Tim Burton, and if he was still married to Helena Bonham Carter, she would be playing the French woman. Of course she would be. So this is Tim Burton post Helena Bonham Carter. So before we get into the overall film, let's talk about Tim Burton. Okay? Tim Burton sucks. He sucks.
Well said there.
Whoa. Fuck both of you.
No, listen, I'm a fan of Tim Burton too. I don't mean to cut you off there, but I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you got Batman and Batman 2, which is Batman Returns. Great.
Returns, yeah.
Batman Returns is the greatest German expressionism, Art Deco, cyberpunk movie I have seen in the modern era, right? It is just Tim Burton at his best when it comes to the design.
Well, it certainly isn't Batman, but yes.
No, it is an interesting design. It's not, but it's decent. Then he does Beetlejuice, you know, and he does Edward Scissorhands, and all that stuff is great. Johnny Depp and the Chocolate Factory just ruined his career.
Nope, you're wrong.
Just
Everything you say from here on out is discounted about Tim Burton. You're absolutely incorrect. That was his best work. Absolutely best work.
Oh,
100%.
Wait a minute. What? Okay, we don't need to go into dipping of the filmography of Tim Burton here.
No, but there's a reason why I'm saying this, though. It's because this movie did not need one thing, and that one thing is Tim Burton. His German expressionism was not needed for this movie. It happens later. We'll get into the details later, but they're in the middle of the movie when they go to Dreamland, Disney World, essentially, Disneyland. It's creepy. It's scary. It's cyberpunk. It's Art Deco. It's German expressionism. It's not a kid friend. They have a section of Dreamland called Nightmare Land, and it gave me nightmares. It was scary. Like, that's not this movie.
What? Dumbo?
It's just not.
No. Dumbo had the trippy part. The original cartoon. What was it? 1960?
41.
1941, yeah.
There we go. That was
you know what I'm saying,
the weird part.
Style.
When Dumbo got drunk, and went on the Elephants on Parade. That was some freaky shit, and that's what kids got to see, and you get to grow up with that. And you're saying that a little Tim Burton darkness here is gonna scare a kid or two.
Well, the reason why I said that Tim Burton's German expressionism is too much, it's because it is so in your face of artistic douchebaggery that he's not realizing that he's making a Disney live action movie about a flying elephant. You know, he needs to make this more of that kind of style.
He does and the
not
same thing
this.
with Alice in Wonderland.
He did. That's another one. So, okay. So Ed has done his research on this one. I've done my research. I've seen this movie twice. And I saw the original, which I've never seen. I've actually never seen Dumbo before this review, the original. Is this a movie that you've heard 1,000 times, but you never actually seen it? And the reason why this movie is not Dumbo, right? I mean, this is completely different because let's just be very, very quick with it. Dumbo doesn't fly into the last 5 minutes of the original movie. And this whole movie's based on him flying. So that is weird. Ed, what do you feel about the family first? Let's talk about the circus and the family. This movie takes place after World War I in 1919. And Colin Farrell is the star of this movie, and he's an amputee. What do you think about Colin Farrell's performance in this one, Ed?
I feel like Colin Farrell is a very good actor, and I feel like a lot of his work, his best work, is when he's sort of like mellowed out, which he was throughout this whole film. With that being said, I felt like his entire character was unnecessary. I felt like the kids' motivation for helping Dumbo would have been better served with their dad as a memory, as opposed to a guy who used to be the center of the show that is now just desperate to find something else to become the center of the show. And it's very weirdly written in the sense that the kids are Dumbo's motivation, but Colin Farrell is the center of the story about a flying elephant.
You know what, Ed? I'm going to agree with you on that. Colin Farrell's good when he's level, because Colin Farrell is not good when he's bullseye. You know, it's absolutely crazy.
I mean, he was
not
good.
his fault.
Like in True Detective, the season he was in, season 2, that season was just absolutely awful, but he was great in it because he sort of was like this mellow dude. Crazy Heart, he was great in Crazy Heart as a supporting character. When he has to really work really hard, he's not that good. But when he's able to just sort of, I don't want to say drunken because it's not necessarily accurate, but when he's able to have, like, just sit back and have some whiskey and then go out and do his scene.
Minority Report.
Yeah, and this is going to sound really terrible because I don't hate him, but when he doesn't have to actually go out and act,
oh, God,
he's good. But when he has to go and perform, he's not as good as he is when he doesn't have to. Maybe it's just he's so scrumptious that, like, you have to like him when he's on screen.
So that means you liked his phone-in performance for the Total Recall remake then. So okay, I got you.
Well, he's sure. We'll go with it.
We'll go with that. Eric, so this movie's focused on Colin Farrell coming back from World War I as an amputee, and he has his 2 kids, and their wife has passed away. What happened to the wife? Did I miss this after seeing it 2 times?
You've seen it twice and you don't know what happened to the wife? I thought that it was just kind of you didn't need to know.
I mean, but I wanted to know.
I think she's just gone.
Yeah,
I think she's dead.
Yeah,
she's dead,
I
right?
thought, well, yeah, but I had never really, I didn't retain any cause. I didn't know if they had said anything about that.
That's why I was asking.
Oh no, I don't. If they did, then I missed it. But I thought that they was just kind of like a, message received. We don't need that detail anymore, or to go into any more detail. It's just accept that.
She was not a part of the circus, right?
Was she not original?
She would have had to have been. She would have had to have been.
Well, see, now that's what I'm saying is because I saw this movie twice, and I'm going to explain why I saw this twice. I saw it in theaters with my daughter.
Oh, yeah, because the horses.
Yeah, exactly. I saw this in theaters with my daughter, and then I went back to see it through our eyes because I saw it through a 2.5-year-old's eyes, with my daughter. But what is it when they're doing their flying over the air thing, like with Dick Grayson? Is trapeze
yes.
artist?
Yes.
I like how you made a Robin reference, but didn't know what trapeze was for a moment. Like you remembered Robin, but not a trapeze artist.
Right? God bless Batman forever. So this is my question for you, Eric. Would it have been better for the movie, just as a character plot here, to say, hey, Colin Farrell, sorry that you lost your arm in the Great War. Your wife died in a trapeze accident, and now he is struggling to come back to the circus because of that instance, kind of a thing. Kind of just give him more weight for his character, because Ed is right. He's just there for no reason.
Yeah,
would it be better? I
agree with you 100%. Actually, that I feel like Colin Farrell's character could have been better spent as they wanted some sort of attractive male lead. It's what I'm getting at, right? Mm-hmm. Someone to kind of stand up for whatever they're doing their adventures. I feel that takes away a lot of the character or potential character from the other protagonists of the film. So yeah, I feel like he completely unneeded. You could have had those kids just be carnival kids, just be orphans, and they have a little side gig, or like they clean, or they have a skill. It's like, I don't know, little juggling act, or they're a barker. I don't know what the hell, but they're an outcast, kind of like Dumbo. That's what they should have done, and so that would have been a relatability there. And then because that's how that mouse was. He was just kind of a
Yeah, which would have been in my later argument, which you'll hear, which would have been made more sense that A, they were just nobodies, or B, that Colin Farrell was their dad and they were remembering him and he was their ghost maybe, but it would have given like a legitimate reasoning behind why they did what they did to help Dumbo. You know, because like Timothy Q. Mouse in the original was an outcast. He was a mouse. So, like, there's reasons why he befriended Dumbo.
a mouse wearing a Sergeant Pepper's costume.
That was significantly earlier than the album, but yes, we'll go with it.
Significantly early. That's true. Yeah, the mouse wasn't on acid like the Beatles were. So, so it is
That's what you wear when you take acid.
right. So it is implied that a stork dropped off Dumbo, just like in the original, because there is a stork on top of the train car, and then Dumbo is born. So we'll just go with that for the sake of kids. This is an educational show. We're not going to go that deep.
Yeah, yeah.
And the stork drops off baby Dumbo, and his mother's name is Jumbo, and he's different. He's an elephant. He's a baby elephant, and he is cute. He's cute. He's a cute CGI creation, and he has the biggest floppy ears that they have ever seen. And Danny DeVito, who was in charge of the circus, is pissed off. So we're going to skip just a little bit because we're not going to do every little detail. But the kids, Colin Farrell's kids, play with Dumbo with his big ears. He accidentally sniffs a feather, and they discover that he can fly. So they are trying to promote that this failing circus, because they're on their last dime, that they have a flying elephant, kind of a failure. So then they dress him up as a firefighter clown. Okay, and then it goes to him actually, right? Classic scene, and then it goes to he is now famous. People know that they have a flying elephant, and here comes Michael Keaton. So Tim Burton is now Quentin Tarantino. He decides he's going to bring back some of his old actors from his old movies, and we got a Batman Returns reunion here.
I'm just surprised Johnny Depp's not in this movie.
He doesn't need to be. And Michael Keaton plays a blonde hair Walt Disney, right? Because that's who that's who he's channeling, right?
No, wouldn't
that's who Michael Keaton's playing.
Wouldn't Arkin be more of the Disney type? Yeah.
You're right. But yeah,
I see
he arrives.
He's Michael Eisner then, or else the CEO.
Michael Keaton arrives with his fancy car and blows everybody out of the water with his pizzazz of a showmanship. And he wants to be a partner with the Penguin. I mean, Danny DeVito. And they sign a partnership. And Michael Keaton says, okay, you're going to take all your freaks in the circus and all this stuff in Dumbo. I'm going to hire you guys, and you're going to go to Dreamland. We're going to give you a place to live. And boom, we're going to have a show, and everything is going to be awesome. So we know at this point, guys, where this movie's going, right? I mean, like, we all know the story.
It's setting up for disaster, right? Climbing you up so you can slap you right back down.
So we get to
kind of story.
We get to Dreamland, which is Disneyland. We get something World of Science, which is Tomorrowland.
Just to kind of like fast forward on everything else, like the basic plot of the movie is that to make ends meet, they sell Dumbo's mom, and in order to win or buy her back, the goal is that the kids, along with Dumbo, will raise enough money from ticket sales in order to buy Jumbo back. So she essentially, or Dumbo, Dumbo has to fly for his mother's freedom. Yeah, fly for the freedom. You have to do it, right? Basically, what this movie is here. So we didn't get any of the songs that were made it classic, but it's just what it is.
Yeah. So Eric, this is where I was leading up to my question for you, and I'm actually going to ask Ed the same question. Now, I know this is a live-action Disney movie, and they're trying to be realistic with their stuff, but we had talking animals in Jungle Book. Eric, are you missing the classic characters of the mouse, the crows, talking animals here, talking creatures?
I think it was funny too that Michael Buffer kind of had those quotes of you've seen a dragonfly, you've seen a house fly. Kind of that was a nice little nod there too when he said that. But yeah, of course, like that's an eccentric group of characters that cartoon Disney often has, and why it makes their movies so memorable is just because you have all just kind of shapes and sizes, basically represented in a movie, and it's just well, also the music too. I think the music would be more memorable, and no matter how racist it may be, it was still fun to watch.
So now, Ed, I'm asking the same question, but you and I had a conversation previous to this recording, and you have something big that you want to say about them going to Dreamland, where Dumbo gets his motivation.
Yes.
Compared to the original movie. So, Eric, this is a very interesting argument. I really am interested to see what you have to say about this, Eric. So, Ed, say your piece. What is your big gripe with this movie when it comes to the experience?
Sure. So, first of all, they did have a little image of the mouse at the beginning of the movie. They do have that. There's some good imagery that harkens back to the original. I respect that. And yes, for 1941, it wasn't, but by all standards of what is racist, those crows represented a racist depiction of African Americans. Right? It just is what it is. That's a fact.
Whatever, man.
Yeah,
we all know it. Move on.
So the reason why Dumbo what happens with Dumbo is he gets drunk because the clowns accidentally spill a beer into his water dish. He gets drunk. You have the pink elephant scene, and he wakes up in a tree. And the crows, representing African Americans, unfortunately, the way they were depicted is what it is. But they were like, oh, they're laughing at him. They're making fun of him. How'd you get up there, man? Like, you was an elephant. How'd you fly? Right? Like, what'd you do? Fly? How'd you get up there? So, and Dumbo, scared as he was in this version, he freaks out and he falls, and that's where he learns to fly. And the crows are like, "Whoa, like, yo, man, like you're like one of us, man, because like you can fly. That's awesome. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it, but I done seen down everything because I seen an elephant fly." Right?
Yeah, there was a big old flying song.
Right. It's I've seen it. It exists. And like these crows, African Americans have been seen as less than, and Dumbo, because of his ears throughout the entire first movie, has been seen as, we don't want your kind. We don't want you around us. The other elephants, once his mom goes crazy trying to defend him, the other elephants turn their backs on him. So as a minority elephant, he is motivated by the minorities in the original movie. So go to this movie.
That's right.
Okay.
I forgot about that scene in the cartoon.
So go to this movie, right? I get that you had to change some things, and you can't show those same crows today. I get it. I would have felt awkward had they done something like that. I really would have. But the reason Dumbo's motivation for flying, what motivates him to learn to fly, is the empowerment he got from African Americans, right? The black crows. And I know that sounds dumb. But like the minorities.
The reason I'm not stopping you because I want to hear it.
Okay, so in this movie, you take away all aspects of the minority, of him being a minority, and he's motivated by two white kids. In an effort, this is more of a shot on modern day Hollywood's afraid to say something controversial, that they take out what is controversial and replace it with just two white kids. Like, his motivation isn't him being motivated by people who were looked down upon, these crows. he was motivated by money and greed to get his mom, and two white kids who said who tricked them into fucking flying for their own for their own shit.
Okay, all right. So Eric, what do you feel about that argument? What do you feel?
I think you're overthinking it. That's for damn sure. I hear you, and I understand how you got there. I do very much feel that it's just not that. I felt that the writers were just trying to make a simple movie, make it like a fucking. I'm not even kidding you, dude. I think this felt like it was like a 30-page script. You know, this script felt light because this movie it was all eye candy. That's what this wanted. This was a kid-dependent movie. This was for ages 12 and under. That's what this movie was for, and there was none of that adult, like little cheeky humor that goes in there, the witty shit's in there. This was all just kid and look at the pretty colors. That's all this was, a field trip movie. And if you're trying to put any other sort of subtext into it, I mean, sure. I mean, you could break it down and analyze it for what it is. I didn't see that. I felt it just to be some sort of simple movie. Yeah, you know what? I felt like they probably were whitewashing it just to be fucking safe. But and a lot of it was really unnecessary. Like, yeah.
Well, Eric, Ed has one more thing that's shorter.
Please go ahead.
Ed has something to say about how African Americans were depicted in this film, Dumbo 2019, and how it's different from the original. Ed, go ahead and say your piece on that.
Yes, again, I'm going to say this for the 1,000th time. It is by today's standard, it is absolutely abhorrent to look back at those crows and realize what they were meant to represent. However, they took out that whole aspect, and the only black guy in the movie was a mute who played the drums.
Yeah.
The strongest man. Yeah.
He's the world's strongest man, sure, but he's a mute who gets yelled at by miniature Danny DeVito in 1919, mind you. Remember where we were in 1919. Okay?
Yeah.
And he doesn't speak, and he gets screamed at by Danny DeVito the whole movie, except for the time he's playing the drums. That, to me, is more of a racist more of a racist depiction today than in 1941, the depiction of the crows. If you remember where we were.
Okay. Eric, how do you feel about that?
I'm not saying by today's standards, it's not. I'm just saying from where we were as a society, you take African Americans out of the story in their entirety and make the only one that's in the damn thing a mute, as opposed to the person who motivates the different kid from being himself, from learning how to fly, from being what you meant to be.
Okay. So, Eric, do you have any rebuttal on that at all? Do you see what he's saying?
I do. I do. I just think that might be overthinking. I think that just a bunch of white people were just like, yeah, let's get some other white people and fucking make a movie, and they made one that was just lame as shit. This movie tasted like an average white chicken with no salt. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Like that's just basically what this was. I'm not even kidding you. Like, and that's why it was just kind of lame and bland and vanilla. You knew it was going to happen. It was a pretty movie, and then it just,
So now we know what's going to happen, right? We're going into our climax of the movie. Michael Keaton is actually a bad guy, twisting his mustache on the rail yard there, and he says to Danny DeVito, "You need to fire all your circus people because I said I would hire them, but I didn't say for how long. They're going to keep Dumbo, but Dumbo is failing to impress people, even though he is flying." Dumbo finds out that his mother Jumbo is actually in the nightmare land part of the dreamland, and he wants to be with his mother. So Michael Keaton is going to kill Jumbo. Why not? Right? Let's kill her. So big climax ensues. Right? Dumbo finally, saves the day. Everybody's happy. And there's a big fire that comes out, and Michael Keaton is in trouble because pretty much he is arson and he is defrauding and all that fun shit. And Danny DeVito and the rest of his circus people get a chance to reopen their circus. Everybody is happy. Frenchie and Colin Farrell's together, and Dumbo gets to go to the jungle with the rest of the elephants and fly, and they all greet him with open trunks.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mean to skim through 30 minutes of the movie there, fans, but this movie's vanilla. Dumbo's born. Dumbo is ridiculed. He's a minority. He goes to Dreamland. His mother's there. Shenanigans ensue. Saves the day. Happy ending. I mean, that is the fucking movie. This is a cookie cutter fucking movie.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Very, very fucking basic.
You had a great point in the same conversation that you referenced leading up to me. You made a great point about Tim Burton in this movie. I'd like you to share it with the movie guys first.
About the Art Deco, or
no, about the way this movie should have been directed and by who.
So Tim Burton, before we get into popcorn ratings, thank you Ed for reminding me. Tim Burton and Eric, I don't know if you agree with me. Terrible choice to have Tim Burton do this movie. Tim Burton is not the guy to do this movie.
Sure.
Should have been a gun for hire. Just some random guy who did music videos. Just some random director. Why? Why do you hire? Because his style does not fit this movie. I mean,
No.
he should be making Sweeney Todd 6 by now. He shouldn't be doing this shit. You know, like this is Dumbo. Dumbo, Snow White, Bambi, Cinderella. These are Disney classics, staples. Tim Burton does not have this kind of style for this movie. They should have hired a guy off the street just to say, okay, put the camera in the tripod, press record. Colin Farrell's here for the sex appeal. Let's go. I mean, it was unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Yeah, I think they probably could have gone a different route with Tim Burton. But again, like going off of that same Tim Burton note, he just seems to be committing too much to his like Hot Topic brand. You know, that's what it is. Like he just stays.
Nice.
He just kind of stays in that wheelhouse, and it's safety. People just know it's like, oh yeah, we'll just stick with, and just you can go outside of that, man. Like Tim, you can do other things. You can big fish it again. You know, don't be afraid.
Good. Bright eyes it, big eyes, bright eyes. What's it?
I think big eyes.
I just actually, you know what? Since you said that here, because of Hot Topic, I want to know how much money that motherfucker Tim Burton makes off of Hot Topic, because all they fucking ever sell is Jack Skeleton shit. Yeah, I want to know.
I'm sure.
That and independent wrestling tees. # call to the ring.
Okay. We got a self-promotion for our sister show. So let's get into our popcorn ratings here. Eric, I want to know. I'm really curious, buddy. What is your popcorn rating for Dumbo 2019?
It's a small bag. It's a kid's movie. I'm not a kid. Wasn't for me. End of review. That's
Okay.
That's exactly what this is. It's a simple movie. If you're digging anything more, you shouldn't. Simple movie, kids movie. Move it on. Put it in the library.
Oh.
Swipe left.
All right. Small bag. Respectable. Ed, what is your popcorn rating for Dumbo 2019?
So, even the original, even though I just talked about everything I just talked about, the original, like, it's just real fucking vanilla too. It just is. The motive, the thing about the whole story of Dumbo is, if you're different, you can fucking fly. Just because you got big ears doesn't mean you can't fly. Just because you got freckles doesn't mean you can't do this. Just because you're this thing that's different and you're being shunned doesn't mean you can't do this. But outside of that little bit of undertones, it's like you're 100% right. The Dumbo is vanilla. Tim Burton is just the wrong guy for this movie, man. You know, and he's great. I love Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands. I like Frankenweenie. I like all of his movies except for this one. So yeah, it's a kids movie. I like kids movies as an adult. It's weird, I get it, but like it doesn't. I don't see the appeal for me. So I'm not even. I'm gonna go with 0, no bag.
Wow. No bag. It's
No
because
bag.
of the.
I think
We talked about other reasons why I'm also flying.
Yeah.
I think it's Colin. I really do agree that Colin Farrell's character really just was not needed really in this movie at all.
Not at all. Not at all. The least needed main character in the history of film. It's not. The movie's not even named for him. It's named for It's named for a supporting character.
Yeah.
It's named for a supporting character in the story.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'll make mine short and sweet too here. The reason why, again, that I saw this movie twice for my popcorn rating is because I have a 2.5-year-old little girl. So I wanted to see it through her eyes, and she was not intrigued at all. She would rather watch Fancy Nancy or Mickey Mouse or something else, or Moana. This movie just didn't do it for her. And it also, following suit with her daddy here, it didn't suit for me too. This movie is a kids movie, but the problem with this movie, with not being a kids movie, is that it's vanilla. Let's just put the fact that this is a kids movie aside for a second. This movie is ABC plot. There is nothing important. There is nothing intriguing. Characters are bland. This movie is chicken and white rice. It's just bland. You know, there's nothing to it, and I expected more from Disney since they're monopolizing everything, and now they have Die Hard and Alien and Predator. God bless them. You know, I just don't understand it. Now I can watch a kids movie like Beauty and the Beast, like we did before, and I can be moved by something if there's something in it. There was nothing in this besides Tim Burton's douchebaggery of "Look at me, I know German expressionism." Just shut the fuck up, Tim. I'm sick of it. Not a good film at all. I'm gonna go with Ed on this one. No bags of popcorn. This movie is not worth any bag of popcorn.
Wow,
Just a bad movie.
I mean, I feel like I'm out of place then. Well, no, I stick with it because I don't think it's a. I mean, it's a pretty looking movie, and I'm sure again, if I was a kid, I might have a different opinion,
But my 2.5-year-old didn't,
be
though.
too generous. What's that?
Another thing I'd like to complain about, and Jordan, you actually brought this up, is that it's not that the story is, but it's just the movie's dark. Like it's so black. Like it's pitch black when you watch the movie.
It's very dark.
Yeah,
It's
not in the theory way, not in the sad way,
No,
or like the bad way.
in like an
Yeah.
if you were to frame like
Yes, a hue of dark color.
I mean, like Tim Burton decided to, when they put this in the editing floor, to decide to put this contrast of it to make it look like a early 1900 thing, and it just didn't look good. It was not a pretty movie. It didn't look good. It looked sickly. It just looked. It looked like this movie looked like, okay, it is end of winter. It's going into spring. I have the flu. I have the sniffles. You know, this movie looks sickly. It just looked bad.
He put it in the lo-fi filter on Instagram.
There you go. It's just so that's what my review was overall in a nutshell, Eric, is that I have to look at this from our eyes.
Oh,
and this movie's telling me that there's just nothing to this movie.
I wish I could disagree, but I can't.
So, but we hope to give everybody who's listening to this episode a great review next week. I'm so excited because me being the Stephen King fan, next week we are reviewing Pet Sematary, the remake of the late 80s Pet Sematary movie. I am so excited to get into Stephen King here. I just don't know how else to end with Pet Sematary. This is going to be fucking fun, I hope. I'm not expecting great. I'm expecting fun. I'm expecting a good Pet Sematary movie. So, Eric, Ed, are you guys excited about Pet Sematary before we close out? It's just excited for.
Fuck
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching the original after the review tonight here to get prepared for. So, thank you everybody so much for listening to this episode. Before we close out real quick, Eric, I like beer. Do you like beer, Eric?
I like beer.
Right? Ed, where can some of our fans check out some awesome beer?
On the great website, InsideTheCellar.com. It's not only just about beer; it's also about wine. It's definitely the Amazon of adult beverages. For things like you may live in Western Pennsylvania or Northwest Ohio, or Detroit metropolitan area, and you travel a little bit and you taste a beer that you just can't get where you live. InsideTheCellar.com is here to help you out. Craft beers, wine, other accessories, and whatnot. Just go to InsideTheCellar.com. Tell them we sent you, and they'll hook you up.
And please drink responsibly. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. Make sure to check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Download other episodes from iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, and also the Podbean app, Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. Search for Movie Guys Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and we will be back next week, next Thursday, like always, for another awesome episode for Pet Cemetery. Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me. Have a good night.